Hi, welcome into today's SBA EIDL Loan update. It is May 16th, 2022, and today is the last day that the EIDL portal will be open. After today, tomorrow, it should be completely closed, if not add-on for extra time. But this is your fair warning, and I urge you to go into your portal to look at any of the documentation that you have left to sign. Today will be the last day for that, as well as to download. There should be buttons next to those forms, and I'll be going into what documentation that entails, how to manage your EIDL loan, as well as what can you do thereafter moving forward as an alternative solution and so forth. Now, what we're looking at is how to manage your EIDL. Perhaps you've seen this, but I wanted to cover this very quickly for those of you wondering, can I still go in and request an increase and so forth, which I've made other videos too. I'll try to link to you down below in the description. Notice the COVID-19 EIDL program is not accepting new applications, increase requests, or reconsiderations. As of January 1st, 2022, SBA stopped accepting new applicants. As of May 6, 2022, the COVID-19 funds are exhausted, quote unquote, because we all know what happened for those of you who had already requested an increase and were stuck in the queue, and how those files are being looked at and considered. Now, approved borrowers that have not signed their loan closing documents must do so by May 16th, 2022, or you will face delayed disbursement or possible loss of funding. So you don't want to sit on those two and then wonder what could have happened. So the COVID-19 EIDL portal, also known as the Rapid Portal, will close on May 16th, as I've mentioned. Borrowers should download their loan documents from the portal prior to this date. SBA continues to offer other funding options for small businesses, including traditional SBA loans like microloans. There's the SBA 7A loan, 504. I've made video to those, so make sure you look down below in the description where I'll leave information on those microloans for more of the startup / newly established businesses, and then the SBA 7A / 504, as well as a lot of other options, as well as like what are those private lending routes to take. So what are you going to need for documentation if you haven't seen this already? And this could be a reminder to you. So a loan agreement, note and related documents, 4506T form, request for tax return transcript, and that's basically it, what you have on that side of the equation, on top of what I just mentioned here, the loan agreement, the note, the guarantee, and related documents. So those are the things you're going to want to look after, depending on what you have and what you haven't downloaded as well. And you can save that to the cloud, to a drive, so you can reference it. You may need it later on, but also make sure you sign any documentation that you haven't already, because today will be the last day for that. Now, over here, the ferments extension as of March 15, 2022, which I won't cover now, but I spoke about that in another video, how it's been extended an additional 6-month deferment of principal and interest payments to existing COVID-19 EIDL borrowers. This deferment does not apply to non-COVID disaster home and business loans. This deferment extension is effective, for all COVID EIDL loans approved in the calendar years of 2020, 21, 22. Loans now have a total deferment of 30 months from the date of the original note. Interest will continue to occur on the loans during the deferment. So you can monitor loan status and make payments right there, download your loan documents, the deadline, and request servicing actions, if so forth. And you can see a little bit about that there. And then having to contact them for help with EIDL, call number there, or email disaster customer service at sba.gov for help with targeted EIDL advance. And you have an email for that as well. And you have a little bit of the time of the service center there to be included. So that is what you have. I won't go into this PDF here, where it's just examples of what you would have seen in the back office and what to expect. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but you can see a little demonstration there. And then if you need assistance getting business funding, you want more of a complete, personalized, and customized email response for your best funding option and options, plus get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for much faster funding and in less time, so you're not wasting all these days, weeks, months, and even years of sifting through old, outdated theory, fluffy based, even scammy type information. It's just not what you want to see. Then I highly encourage you to fill out this very fast, less than 30-second questionnaire, and I will get to analyze and evaluate your response and be able to give you a customized email response back sent to you on what those options are, whether you qualify for anything or not. Maybe you have no revenue, maybe you have a little bit, 100,000, a million per month, billions you're doing, and you still need help and advice, consultation, and all of this, understanding how does it work, what are my best options, so you're not having to be duped or going through the wrong sources and being promised something that just doesn't work. There are more services that I offer. I just put a handful of them there. And again, this is at my site, Viral Funding Solutions. I've helped out a lot of people of all industries, of all backgrounds, get the business funding they desire and how it works. It's most important that you understand that, yes, there are low interest and there's high interest, but you have to understand what the benefits are to the two. What do you qualify for? What do you not? And even if you get a medium to high rate / interest rate, what you have to understand is the benefit needs to extend the repayment or exceed, excuse me, benefit exceeds your repayment. And if that makes sense, then it's best to move forward in a lot of these cases. So the form will look like this more or less. I know I have been split testing it a little bit, so you might get a little bit of information down here where it says how it works in a video perhaps. And this is what you'll see more or less to get started with. All right. So I'll leave that down below in the description as well as my email. But the best thing to do, I know a lot of people want to communicate to me what their EIDL loan situation is. Make sure you go through the other videos that I've already put out there, as well as you fill out that questionnaire form if you're looking for alternative funding. Because let's look at it this way. The EIDL loan isn't going to be open for forever. It may come back, it may not. But are you going to be sitting on that? Are you that individual who already has received funding, an increase, you wanted an extra amount, you got it or you didn't, and now you're like, well, I don't know if I want to go test the waters and see what is out there. I know I'll qualify for something, but it is going to be a medium to higher rate. But like I just said, does the benefit exceed the repayment? And what is the use of your funds? When I speak to business owners and I go, what would this funding do for you? What would it mean to you in your own personal life as well as in your own business? Would it allow you to free up more time to focus on your own health, your own family, to take a vacation finally for once? I know how it feels like when you're going through all these struggles trying to get business funding, starting from nothing just to get your revenue up and then get to a certain point where you can qualify for an extensive amount. And would that help you allocate more time in this different parts of your business? And it overall keeps your environment more at peace. Everybody you've employed, all the customers coming in and out, they're having a much better, much smoother and easier, faster experience with you because you were able to inject the funding into your business and not so much think about the rates as much as even the terms, but the repayment. So what are you looking at as a repayment on a daily, weekly, biweekly, monthly basis, as opposed to, I didn't get the longest 30-year term. I didn't get 5% interest, 3.75% interest. Well, you have to think about it. When I ask you too, is what would be your, if anything, your short-term return on your investment? How about in the medium and even in the long term? And or what would that be looking like? Well, if I took 20,000 and I have to pay back 8,000 over the course of 7 months or so, however much it may be, whatever you get approved for, then you're going to say, well, I took 20,000 and I turned it into 50,000 per month now on a consistent basis. And so what you're thinking about is, now I'm producing more growth and expansion into my business. Perhaps I'm in the scale mindset. But if you're in the part where you're trying to survive, paying back 8,000 on 20,000 may seem too much when you're paying a $400 plus or so per day payment, 2,000 plus 8,000 or so, however much it is. But again, I'm not by number calculating right now. So those are the things to keep in mind. And just to recap this video, the EIDL loan portal will be closed. Today is the last day to really get anything out of it and be able to download those documents that I already had gone over. The loan agreement, note and related documents, 4506C form, request for return transcript, loan agreements, notes, guarantee, and the related documents and so forth that you'll need moving forward. So now let me come up here really quickly just to make sure you see all that one more time. We talked a little bit about the ferment, which I won't get into this video, how it's not accepting new applications, what's going on with the increases, Deadline May 16, 2022 for all the documentation needed to be downloaded. Now, most importantly, though, look for that questionnaire if you have not started with it. Go through the other videos where I talk about the SBA 7A and 504, the microloan programs, anything outside of the SBA, as well as I'm an expert in. So I've helped out, like I said, numerous amount of business owners get the right business funding. And even if they don't, I'll communicate to you what you must do, because there are situations where, hey, you may not be depositing directly into one business checking account yourselves into that account, and you're actually transferring between multiple banking accounts. There's too much banking activity happening, so that may disqualify you in some senses. And so, what do we have to do to help you in that case, in that scenario? And what are we actually looking for in terms of ACH deposits, checks, direct deposits, all of this happening, and so forth. So that is all for myself. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to voice them down below in the comments, as well as start in the description. And if you got value out of this, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't been following me, please subscribe. I would be greatly appreciated of you, as well as click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I come out with. And if you feel somebody else will get value out of it, a complete stranger, friends, family, whoever it may be, feel free to share this with others so they can get the best funding option and options at the end of the day that are not only SBA related, because I focus on everything and I have a wealth of experience, not only as a small business owner, as a business owner like yourself, but also being able to help a lot of businesses get in the right place, whether they're building, growing, expanding, or even trying to get out of a tight pinch. All right, that is all for myself. Talk to you soon.